It's a quick video of my Honda EU2000 running on a propane conversion. I must give credit to Mark I Jordan 1, who I copied his design almost to the T. Basically, you can see the components here from the propane tank going in to the first regulator, which takes high pressure to low pressure. Then it goes into a Garrettson 039 022, I believe, regulator, which basically the purpose of this regulator turns the system into a vacuum kind of system. So if you unplug or the engine goes out, then no fuel will flow, which is a good safety thing to have. So I designed mine with a 2 hookup. I only have one generator at this time, but I designed it with 2. Now I did use these Harbor Freight on-off connectors. If I had to do it again, I would buy something a little better. There were some reviews on Harbor Freight about them leaking, and they do leak. If you had 100 pounds of air pressure, I could see it being a problem for air, high PSIs in it. But I've done some testing on it here, and they seem fine at low pressure. They seem to work just fine. What I did with mine is, once I got it dialed in, I'll show you here, I put a black mark on where the setting that works optimally. You can see right here, right about there is where it works perfectly. If I set it there, it shuts it off. So what I'll do is I'll just set it right there for now. And then we'll go ahead and, sorry for this video going in and out, we'll go ahead and turn on the gas. I'm not going to prime it yet, but we're going to prime it in a second. I bought 10 foot of hose. Just use standard air hose couplings. They say you're not supposed to do that, but use propane couplings instead of air couplings, but it seems to work fine and it doesn't leak. But I got 10 foot going into the generator, and I put a little quick disconnect down in here so you can see this here. Basically, again, it's air hose fittings. There's nothing special there. It's a 3/8, I think, on the back end, and standard air hose fitting right here. And you can, it's hard to get this thing in the camera, but there's no, even though it's on, there's nothing coming out of there. That's because of that regulator. Okay, so I'm gonna just hook it back up. Try to anyway. Okay. Now I did modify the carburetor the same exact way that the video recommended that I saw on YouTube, and you can, it gives you good, there it is right there. I did epoxy that in there, and I ran clear hose. I didn't yet put a shut-off, but I will right here where you see those 2 hoses. I'm going to put a shut-off in there. The only thing I really see it necessary for is if I'm running on gas, it would, I guess air could possibly come in through there on a vacuum, and it's, that's not filtered, so I will put an off in there, a disconnect switch. So, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on propane first, and then I got a little 1500 watt heater right here. We'll run this, and then we'll run it again on gasoline, just to show you that, it's the way I modified it here, run on natural gas, propane, or gasoline. Now I did do the one mod that Mark I Jordan 1 said, and I did disconnect the kill switch, really, in a sense. So this should always be off when you're running propane. As a matter of fact, when you're running gas, you would have it in the on position, and then you would put it in the off position, and it would continue to run until all the gas ran out of the carburetor, and that's exactly what you want. Now there should be no gas in the carburetor at this point in time, so unless I just let some in when I did that. But what we're going to go ahead and do is try to give it started up here. I got the Eco, I think I have it on right now, but we're going to turn the Eco switch off. It's hard to see that with that thing I have there. Okay, so the Eco switch is off right now, and I don't know, it's going to take a few pulls, and me holding this thing, it might take a little more. But I'm going to go ahead. The gas, like I said, is on. I already turned it on. We're going to go ahead and prime it. Since I got 10 foot, just going to hear that. 1, 2, okay, that should be enough. And that's in the off position. Now, I'm going to try to start it here. Might be a little hard. There it goes. Alright, there it is. Starts up relatively quickly. The little chihuahua's barking. So, the interesting thing about this, and the reason why you want to have this kind of regulator, is because when the engine's running, it's actually sucking. It's in a vacuum. And that's great for a couple reasons, especially when you go into eco mode. We didn't have this, and there was a constant gas pressure. We probably would be adjusting the gas up and down as the eco was on and off, or a demand was on and off, and that wouldn't be right. So we're going to put an eco just to show you how it goes down properly. Okay, there's eco. And you see it goes down and runs now. I did have a vibration problem, or I thought I did, but in another video, it seems a lot of people have that when it runs in eco mode. So I thought it might make a difference with propane, but it vibrates exactly the same, and I'm under the conclusion with everyone else that that's exactly how they run in eco mode. There's a small vibration, so no big deal. You really can't see it in this video. It is shaking, but you can't see it. So it'll jump back up. Okay, now what we're going to do is apply a load. There's a fan, that's about 80 watts, I guess. Okay, now here's 1,000. You can definitely hear the generator working. There's 1,500 watts. Hear the generator working? Running just fine. It's taking the load. It's 1,500 watts coming right out of here right now. Nice and hot. I'm just going to turn it back to 1,000. Back to fan, back to off. So, see, it runs fine. Conversion was easy. I think that I bought off a US Carb. It was, I don't know, $40 or $50. These various fittings I either bought at Lowe's, Home Depot, or Harbor Freight. Definitely got these valves here from Harbor Freight. I would probably buy a load block if I had to do it again instead of that valve, but you know what, it's working fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to shut it off here just to show you that how this actually controls it. Let's see if I can get that zoomed in. Now watch. As we shut the gas off, it'll die. Okay. Now I'm just going to play on the safe side and just shut this off as well. Alright, we'll come back here. I'm going to disconnect this. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is turn on this so that it allows gas back in. So, I'm going to turn this switch on, and it very well could take 10, 12, 15 pulls, I don't know, till fuel starts going back into that carburetor. So, I'm going to start pulling away. I'll show you what happens here. Get this hose out of my way. Okay. 10, 11, whoop. You know what would help if I had the choke on? Sorry about that. A dummy. Okay, so now it's running on gasoline. Notice there's no air hose hooked up to it, no propane gas going to it. That's kind of all just laying around right here. So, It's that easy. It's beautiful to have these multiple fuel sources, especially when gasoline doesn't store that long and propane does. So, just to give a quick one, a fan, 1,000, 1,500. Sounds about the same. Okay, now here's the interesting thing, like I said. When we want to drain this out, notice when I hit the off, it doesn't go off. Well, because of that modification down here, it's going to run until it runs out of gasoline in the carburetor. Okay, so there's a relatively good chance that it's almost out of fuel or very low, or it won't start back up. So now it's safe to hook the propane back up. So we're going to do this real quickly. All right, one last test here. This camera it doesn't want to stay in focus. So what we're going to do is hook this side up. Okay, follow that hose over here. We're going to hook this side up. It's hard to hold the camera and work everything. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn the fuel on. That's on. We're going to go ahead and prime it. It's 10-foot hose. I don't know. Couple primes. Okay. Now what we're going to do, make sure the choke is always off. Don't ever want to have the choke on when you have propane. Alright, and switches off. So let's give it a couple pulls and see what happens. First pull. Oh. One thing I forgot to do was turn that back on. Now what we'll do is you can hear the engine running. I'm just going to play with this so you can see. I can get it focused in, just to show you how sensitive it is. You hear it starting to slow down. Okay, then we'll go this way. Okay, so I found the ideal spot with load, 1,500 watts on mine, is right there. Notice it's not where the max is, but that seems to be where mine likes it the best. If you come over here, like I said, these things leak a little bit, but notice it doesn't make a bit difference. There's really nothing coming out of there at all. So if I ever get a second generator, I'll have it hooked up already. But, like I said, if I can do this mod, anybody can do it. You could buy the kits. They're about $170, $180. I'm pretty sure all the parts I have is maybe half that cost. The biggest expense was this regulator here, I think at $40 or $50. And the copper pipes aren't cheap either. I mean, they're like, $2, $3, $4 a piece. But a very simplistic setup could be, just come straight out of here, come into this piece, right here, have some kind of a load block, and then come right in there. You don't need your second setup here. And then, if you have air hose or some kind of hose laying around, this is actually fuel grade hose here. You can do it relatively cheap, especially if you can find a regulator. But anyway, I'm very happy with the mod. Definitely will be using it, mixing it with fuel when I have fuel of gasoline, and then when I don't, I'll make sure I buy about 3 or 4 or 5 of these, maybe a bigger one, 40 gallon, maybe 100 gallon tank, and then I'll be good to go. All right, that's it.